Welcome back to Shadowrun Hong Kong. We have more of the town to explore. We talked to Crafty last time. She gave us quite the rundown of, well, a lot of things related to the area. So that was good to get in touch with her. Let's see. There are a lot more people around, so it definitely strikes me that this is daytime, but sure doesn't look like it. Hang on. Oh. Aha. Don't mind if I do. I'm assuming if I was about to steal it, it would warn me. Alright, we'll go down this way a little ways. Will you talk to me now? Overhead, a gigantic hollow sign shines like a searchlight, screaming its message through the dim light. It hums and flickers, sputtering like an old engine. Fierce electrical crackles sporadically burst out of the sign's emitter, stabbing your eyes and filling your ears with static. Under the baleful glare of the sign, the rusty mini-barge's deck is stacked with electronics. The dilapidated stereo is sure spaced with crisply boxed servers. Ranks of discs and memory chips fill display cases, padlocked under plexiglass. A short human in his late 20s stands in the middle, hands on his hips, talking loudly into the air. Bulky virtual reality goggles cover his eyes. A data jack cable runs from his temple down his stained t-shirt to a belt load of clearly home-built computer hardware. No, I'm telling you, his voice is shrill, clipped. Nobody uses KM3s. Like, nobody. They're shit. I don't care what Deng says. If Shiwase SRP uses KM3s, they're stupid. Hey, flesh is rolling up. I gotta go. He turns to face you, goggles blank and enigmatic, blinking with tiny lights wrapped in duct tape. He points at your PDA. I ripped that PDA. You work for Kindly. His lips worked impatiently. Yo, what do you want? Who are you? Servos whine as two lenses on his goggles zoom in on you. Who am I? You're new here, I get it. You don't know about me yet, but you will. I'm one of the guys that keeps this neighborhood running. This is Law's Technology Palace, satellite territory of Whampoa. You step on the boat, you're in a sovereign state. I represent Whampoa here. Oh God. Oh, he's one of those micronation sovereign citizen types. Oh Lord, alright. He draws himself up proudly, setting his hands on his hips. The maximum law, yo. You got a tech problem? Boom, I solve it. You need software? Boom, done. But don't waste my time. So, you got any business in Whampoa right now? If not, keep moving. Found this while poking around in the walled city. Worth anything? He scans the chip's casing with a handheld optical reader. Yo, that shit is banned. Lifted off some Yellow Lotus? They traffic this stuff. Delimited SIM chips. Full sensory experiences. You looking for a buyer? I can make it happen. Has 120 sound. I could probably sell it to him again later if I want, right? I think I'll keep it. What? Don't tease me like that. Raw. That's an amazingly ostentatious hollow sign you've got. Yo. Maximum Law looks up at the gigantic blue-white letters with deep satisfaction. It's pretty boss. I must call you a small fortune in electricity. Whatever, I'm not paying for it. Half of Haoi gets its juice from a pirate tap and a big Mitsushima DC cable under the river. Mitsushima's like... His voice winds up into a mocking whine. Oh, let's run 2 million volts from the cold fusion plant to the island under the river. Those slum monkeys can't tap an underwater cable. Idiots. You know who built the tap that pulls electricity off that cable? Wampo. You know whose barge holds the transformer? Mine. Maximum Law thrusts his fist high in the air in silent victory. Cheap power for all, and a whole lot of extra for me. Behold the lighthouse of Boom. He's a little insufferable. Why are you wearing VR goggles? It's not VR, it's augmented reality. Oh man, he's really going for every annoying tech guy stereotype. It's augmented reality. We're pioneering it. Little cameras, matrix overlay. I can support a 3-dimensional HUD and sub windows with live multiple feeds. I've got Command Shell open right now. I'm networked with 5 guys. Sure you are, man. Oh, this guy sucks. Oh, what a bummer. Whew, okay. Law taps his goggles. Wave of the future. Techie's trying to proxy for astral perception with gadgets. Cute. Don't give me that woo-woo villain chaser bullshit. All that astral stuff, it doesn't do anything tech can't do better, ultimately. It's just a shortcut. Law says it with supreme confidence. A statement of perfect fact. He hooks his thumbs in his bulky electronics belt. Boom. Looks like you've got some dangerously exposed wires over there. Yo, what are you, my mother? Law regards you with skeptical disgust. Those wires are fine where they are, high and dry. They're only a problem when someone who does something stupid. I'm running a high bandwidth tech operation. Do I look like I have time to tape copper and sip tea? No, I don't. Law wraps his knuckles fiercely on a clear top cable full of buses, cables, and case full of buses, cables, and cable harnesses. These are the only wires you need to think about. Oh, this guy sucks. Alright, well, here for tech, show me what you've got. Okay, so he's got Dex. Okay, and that looks like fairly generic. Okay. Okay, so is there really no way for me to see my companions? I guess not at the moment, at least. See you later, Law. Yeah, whatever. Now I know what this, okay. Yeah. Okay. Now I see. Okay, so now I know that this is the case they were talking about, and here's the big sign, and here's his personal warning. Yeah, that guy is that guy's miserable. It's interesting there's a little drawbridge there. The intercom buzzes to life. You again? Thought I told you to fuck off. Kindly will vouch for me. Yeah? You just idle your engine there for a minute and I'll check on that. There's a long silence on the intercom. The door gives several heavy metallic clicks. There's a dull rumble, like heavy bolts sliding back. A green light flashes on the terminal. The door appears to be unlocked. You can enter the clinic. Damn, dude. It's quite the ripper, doc. This clinic looks like it's just hosted a party. Spindly mechanical arms swing from unobtrusive wall mounts, pulling down crepe paper ribbons and scooping food platter and empty beer bottles into biohazard bags. Huh. They meant literally hosting a party, okay. A severely crippled Caucasian man sits in a wheelchair amidst the maelstrom of mess and robotics. He's in his 40s. Thick beard, tungsten earrings, beer belly, one cyber eye. Both his legs are missing, one at the hip, the other at the knee. He has only one arm, and only 3 fingers remain on his surviving hand. His face and arms show the scars of reconstructive surgery. He grins widely at you, regarding you with bloodshot eyes. He's clearly hungover. "Hey, I'm Ambrose." He shouts cheerfully in English, his words piling together in a loose Midwestern accent. "They call me Ten Arms. Welcome to the Kong, fellow UCASian." He chuckles, his chest shaking with mirth. A Waldo arm springs to life and swings over to him. Its menacing metal pincer momentarily sets a cigarette between his lips, just long enough for him to inhale from it. Kindly says you're all right. What can I do for you? What can I do you for? See, all right. I've been around enough Midwesterners long enough to like pick up that specific phrasing, and I corrected myself reading ahead like, that's not right. But then I had to do a double take because I'm like, he is Midwestern. That is something they love to say. But I overrode it in my head as I was fast reading. Anyway, what can I do you for? You're a doctor? Sure am. I'm a rigger doctor, a rockter. Ambrose bursts into laughter, then stops and clutches his head. Oh man, I cannot laugh hard today. Too much partying last night. It hurts. I'm not board certified, but don't worry, I should be. I'm full-on skilled. My work's Yellow Lotus's guaranteed and precisely. My work is... Okay, it's a little bit awkward to read. My work's Yellow Lotus guaranteed and precisely in accordance with World Medical Association standards. Everybody in Haoi comes to me, because I'm the only option. Ambrose chuckles delightedly. Wait, how did a rigger end up operating a clinic? How do you think? My meat's not much to look at, but I'm called 10 Arms because I can run 10 armatures at once. Ambrose giggles, jiggling in his wheelchair. My question is, why don't more surgeons do it this way? Maybe because they don't want a first career as a rigger on top of 6 years of residency? Yeah, the career path is kind of underdeveloped. Ambrose pats himself proudly on the chest with a robotic arm that swings over from a wall unit. Makes me one of a kind, except all the rigger surgeons that are out there. Which is actually a lot. They're just not as good at the rigging as me. What do you do here? What do I do? Tune-ups and engine rebuilds. On your ass. I do it all. First aid, second aid, surgery, cybernetics, obstetrics, euthanasia. I'm your one-stop shop for health and beauty. Well, maybe not beauty. I don't modify myself. Any reason I'd come around here if not for medical gear? Shoot, this is a friendly little neighborhood. I love it when people come by and bullshit. Hell, I host birthdays. Ambrose's spider drone swings a bottle of coffee liquor over to his nose. He sniffs it gingerly. Nope, that's not good anymore. Full of spit and cigarette ash. Can you install me with combat wear? You know it. You got the coin and the essence, I'll trick you out like a bulldozer with ground effects and a turret. I've got it all. Bionic limbs, wired reflexes, Deckerware, blood filters, synthetic muscle, bone lacing, greased bearings, ground effects, tight bolts. He really likes ground effects. He doesn't have any on his chair, though. I feel like he should. The full range of Chrome Alley's services is something that we like to keep beneath the HKPF's radar. Ambrose winks. What kind of mechanical services do you offer? Oh, nothing you'd be interested in. Right now I'm mostly doing engine mechanics and electrician stuff. I send Maximilian Law and Reliable Matthew any work they can handle. It's really just a hobby and service to the community. I make my nut with the clinic. He looks fondly over at the massive, partially assembled V8 engine occupying part of the operating theater. That baby's gonna be a goddess when I'm done with her. Your front door could stop a bulldozer. Why so fortified? Are you kidding? Have you any idea how much all the stuff in here is worth? This is a high capital operation. Life's dangerous for a guy missing most of his members, tooling up smugglers and criminals. Let me tell you what, though. Someone bursts in here, they're going to be in a world of hurt. Ambrose chuckles evilly. There's a lot more than pipes and wires up in the false ceiling. I've got Kindly's crew and the Club 88 boys on the panic button. They know which side their bread is buttered and chromed on. Which side of their bread... Which side their bread is chromed on. What, are you thinking of trying to knock me over? He laughs uproariously, but it's not clear if he's kidding. Show me your services. Sure thing. Tune-ups or spare parts? Well, I'll look anyway, but I believe that cyberware for me is a bad idea because it reduces my essence, which I need for all those other effects. But is it actually going to tell me? I don't understand what's the point of having a separate tab when there's only one tab. Especially since I can't organize these in any way. It's not explaining the essence system, but I feel like I should refresh my memory with that. Not that I think I'm going to be interested in this anyway, but... Okay, and he's got... med kits, dock wagon trauma kits. And I've got a handful here and there. Goodbye, Ambrose. Time for me to go. Cheers, Dragon's Breath. Talk to you later. We never actually introduced ourselves to each other. He introduced himself as Ten-Armed Ambrose somewhere in the middle there. But I never introduced myself. Well, I guess he knows from asking my credentials. Let's look real quick. Each point taking away from your current essence increases spell cooldown by 1 turn. That's pretty significant. This impressive home-built computer is running multiple large memory units and processors. Chilled air from its active cooling system washes across you to the whir fans? Okay. A thin fiber optic cable runs across the floor to Ambrose in his chair. On the wall behind the computer are miscellaneous decorations, notes, and photos. 2 items stand out. A large dry erase calendar, and a corkboard plastered with printouts. News clippings and BBS posts have been printed, carefully snipped, and pinned in place. Most are less than a year old. They're intermixed with grainy photographs of what looks like a devastated city, Chicago. The news articles describe an outbreak of a virulent version of the Vitus plague in the city, and the subsequent quarantine of a zone containing hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people. The newest items are plain text bulletin board postings printed out. In fact, the fact that they're from so crude a site is strange. Very, very few Matrix sites are so plain. Identify the source. These posts are from the Shadowland. The Shadowland, a dark Matrix site for Shadowrunners that operates out of the Denver Data Haven. It's the first and foremost of all underground and anonymous systems dedicated to Shadowrunning activity. Captain Chaos, Fast Jack, and other global shadow-decking luminaries appear in these posts. Is this just the same? Yeah. Examine the postings. Files smuggled out from within the containment zone. They describe a cover-up, the detonation of a small nuclear weapon, and the catastrophic release of insect spirits into the city. The current conditions, as reported by drones and escapees, are horrific. Well, that's the first game, right? It's now been like, what was it, 8 years or something since I played that, so I don't remember it that clearly. Wait, no, when did I... Hold on. When did I play that? No, that's not what I want. Shadowrun returns. No, it was only 4 years ago. Never mind. I was mixing it up with something else. Okay. Still, my memory's not great. Thankfully, there's a recording. Return your attention to the wall as a whole. Look at the calendar. Dry Area's calendar is cluttered with a relentless storm of commitments, written and cramped, sloppy Hanzai. Most appear to be medical appointments with patients, followed by a busy list of social engagements. I think Hanzai is I think that's a term for like Chinese shorthand writing. Let me check that. No, it's just the generic term for all of the Chinese writing systems. It looks like that. I'm not gonna spend I could get hyper focused on that and just dead stare at it for a minute. That's a big article. But it's written in Chinese. Most appear to be medical appointments with patients, followed by a busy list of social engagements. Closer scrutiny reveals others. A basic mechanics class on Wednesday nights, basic computer coding Sunday afternoons. Before both of these, inked in red marker, prepare lesson plan, you stupid idiot. Holidays, big combat auto races, birthdays. Every Sunday until 4 p.m. is simply labeled engine. Only 5 hours a night are allocated to sleep, but large swaths of time are conspicuously labeled hangover. Planning your hangover is wild. Okay. Well, that's an interesting character. Oh, what do we got here? Is that a painting? The Electro Furnace Room has been built out as a medical clinic and a machine shop. The air is alive with the rumble of the furnaces and the hum of cooling fans. It's sweltering. The front area is more like a homey coffee house than a clinic lobby. Comfortable old furniture, used digipads, coloring books. The wall opposite the boilers is cluttered with a mixture of photos and prints. Local artists' work, images of military vehicles, off-road racing, Rube Goldberg machines, personal photos, old-time Chicago gangsters, the Desert War's motorized combat division. Glance around the clinic space. The work area looks more like a machine shop than a medical theater. A roboticized operating table and a hydraulic lift supporting a partly disassembled V8 engine occupy places of equal importance against the north and south walls. Prosthetic limbs are racked overhead like machine parts. A heavy lift hoist is clamped to an I-beam. An impressive home-built computer sits against the far wall. Several bulkier towers sit under the desk, fans whirring. It looks more like a sysadmin's Decker server station than a doctor's terminal. The floors are scuffed concrete, stained with grease and old blood. The faint odors of ammonia, gasoline, and antiseptic mingle in the air. A large sign on the back wall reads, "Sanitary space. No spitting." Inspect personal photos. The pictures are mostly of Haoi residents, holidays, and parties. 10-armed Ambrose is in many of them. The vast scope of photos suggests that Ambrose must be acquainted with almost everyone in Haoi. Okay, do you have anything new to say now that I've read the things? I wish I had noticed those before. No, that seems like it. Okay. Okay. What about the club? Frederick Kaffai. Like most troll bouncers, this man is knotted with muscles, but absent are the myriad scars that come with age or indiscretion. His only blemishes are the bony skin growths common to his kind, and a single deep scar across his neck and collarbone. You watch yourself in here, or else we check your aerodynamics. I mean, I get that he's implying he's going to throw me, but aerodynamics? Anyone causes trouble, I see how far I can throw them. No fighting, no killing, no sex trade. He lifts an arm, flexing. His muscles jump out like a mass of serpents and steel cabling. His arm is easily as thick as most humans' waists. I don't mess around. I'm just watching the door. Alright, well. Guess I'll go inside then. Oh, there's a bunch of people here. Maybe I'll come back after I've done everything else. You don't have anything? Did I hallucinate there was a gun trader? Surely not, right? Could have sworn there was one we talked to right when we got in. Despite the wind and rain pelting Haoi, the proprietor of this stall, a monk, judging by their outfit, is unconcerned. The monk's expression is indifferent, though hardly placid or serene. Muscles show as tightly wound metal bands beneath the skin, ready to snap in any direction without warning. What's more, the monk's robes are anything but ordinary. Certainly, silk makes up the base outfit, but it's paired with high-impact ballistic armor, heavy-duty boots, and a bandolier of throwing knives. I'm assuming this is the melee vendor. The table in front of you is arrayed with a wide variety of melee weapons, charms, jade pendants, and other mystical accoutrements. Beneath an awning in the rear are rows upon rows of cages, each housing some variety of exotic reptile or insect. These in turn are flanked by jars and boxes of Chinese herbs, incense, powders, and inks. The monk spares you only the shortest of glances as you approach. I am Monk Shen. Most people in Haoi call me Spider Shen on account of the spiders back there. You're not a local. Not by a long shot. It's definitely a statement, not a question. What tipped you off? Shen smiles crookedly. Shen smirks crookedly, two teeth peeking out from between thin lips. Body language. You're not afraid to look me in the eye, for one. For another, your clothes. Not in fashion, here in Hong Kong. Swords, knives, clubs. I sell it all. Make most of these, but if I can't, I've got friends who can. If you need incense or salves for meditation, I make and sell those too. And if your joint's ache, I can give you acupuncture. Shen places both palms on the table, leaning over it towards you with a wicked grin. So, what can I show you? You're a monk and a weapons dealer? Shen slowly raises an eyebrow, arms folded. Yeah? Where else would the ancient masters have gotten their legendary swords and spears? Down at the mall? I mean, we do have a long history of mall ninjas. I was at Wudang Mountain for 15 years before coming back to Hong Kong. I've been practicing Xing Yi Quan my entire life. That's how I learned the herbs, as well as the forms. It just so happens I'm good in a forge, too. That's why what you buy here is better than most other people's. So why become a weapons dealer out here? I was a runaway, a street orphan in Aberdeen. One day in Aberdeen? Like in the UK? Well, is there a Aberdeen in Hong Kong? There is. Huh. Okay. It's a town? The status of Hong Kong is really weird. And it's hard to understand for me as an outsider. Because Hong Kong is both sort of a unique... I mean, it's... Well, we don't need to get into its legal status with China. But it is both like a state, an administrative like state, and a physical island, and also a city of its own. So apparently Aberdeen is a town in Hong Kong. It makes sense to me that, like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what the differentiation is between, like, legally and for administrative purposes, I guess, between different parts of Hong Kong, whether that means towns or yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should learn more about that and see if that's not too hard to wrap my head around. I was a runaway, a street orphan in Aberdeen. One day, an old man who called himself Woe offered to take me in, let me make something of myself as long as I worked hard. Nothing in this life is free, friend, not even Grandfather Woe's help. So I work for him now. Sounds like he was part of a triad. Shen's eyes roll at this. Obviously. You think I'm in Kindly's little haven for no reason? She and Grandfather Woe are on good terms. I don't get in her way, I pay a cut to her, and everybody's happy. Even Woe, because I solve problems for him. Shen raised a balled fist, which suddenly bursts into blue flame. After a moment, it gutters and goes out. Remember that. If anyone ever gives you something for free, in Heoi you pay it back with money or blood, but you pay it back regardless. What's Jingyi Quan? I'm probably butchering that too. Shen strikes a sudden pose. Body low, one fist against the hip while the other is extended in an open palm. The 5-element fist style. Water grows wood, which burns to become fire. Fire creates ash and earth, which condenses into metal, etc. The forms cycle the 5 elements, and opposing elements block each other. A water fist will break a wooden defense, but a water block will extinguish fire. Should one use a water interception on a metal fist, however, water will be smashed apart. Direct, simple, powerful. Not so elegant as Baji Quan or Tai Chi, but much more powerful. Shen pulls a tarp away from a nearby lump. The object beneath the tarp is revealed as the door to an Ares City Master armored personnel carrier. It's been caved inward by a massive amount of force, and in the dead center of the door is an indentation into which Shen's fist would fit perfectly. Power comes from focus, and focus comes from practice and meditation. Jingyi Quan produces more power than most other forms of kung fu, and applies it in a highly focused way. Why are your weapons special? Because I take greater care with them, and I've studied the ancient texts. Anyone can make an excellent carbide steel blade, but I can make that carbide blade burst into flames. I can make it sing with joy in combat. Anyone can make steel. Not anyone can awake its soul. Can I see one of the blades you've awoken? Shen waves a hand at you dismissively. No, of course not. Swords like that have to be custom ordered. Only when someone cancels an order do I have one just lying around. And believe me, they get snatched up quick. I get the picture. Let's talk about something else. You sell the snakes and spiders too? I assume it's for poison. Shen shakes a finger at you, eyes narrowed. No, they're mine. I can tell you the things I craft with my hands are the things that I can do. But the medicines and poisons I make are my secret. You want those, you apprentice to me. In 5 years, maybe I show you how to make a poultice, eh? They're that secret? Of course they're secret. These are what set me apart from the rest of the street dealers in Heoi. You want cram or bliss, or any 2-bit triad punk can make that for you. But I can realign your ki, set your yin and yang in balance, or set somebody else's out of balance, with a few drops. To master my skills, you need to learn for years. It's not just following a formula. You want to learn? You need patience. You try to learn without patience, missing a word again. All you do is ape the masters. Shen snaps 2 fingers and points at the cages. You have to understand them to truly learn my art. Otherwise you never become a master. Might as well get a skill soft. Let me take a look. Okay. Physical stuff. Alright. Was the gun dealer in the starting area before we got into Heoi proper? Is that why I can't find him now? I don't even remember how we got into town. Where did we enter? Like, I'm not crazy and just missed something, did I? Just missed a guy somewhere? I don't even know where I am anymore. Oh. I am there. It's just... It just seems weird that there's no gun seller visible at all. I'd actually have to go back and check the footage to see where I lost my mind. Because, yeah, it's not here. Maybe it's just not here right now, though. Okay. Let's take a little break, and then we'll check out what's inside the club here. Looks like there's a decent amount of stuff, so we'll see. Anyway, see about that next time.